Welcome back to the night shift, where we just learned in the staff room that ZP has children's baseball in his algorithm. We welcome DDK back to the show. DDK, thoughts on this new topic?
That we should put it in the bin immediately.
He's out. We were talking about an umpire who is going viral. In the meantime, ZP, let's talk about Deadlock, because that's what we're paying ourselves to do, because you're our CEO and you run this company. So talk me through our business plan for tonight. What are we doing in North America?
Well, you know, titles, I'm not sure they're entirely accurate, but we're doing here in North America. Well, we got the return of Melee Creeps, and they're taking on FPS Lounge. Melee Creeps, the rising force going on here in North America. They won DSI this weekend, and they're taking on FPS Lounge. Of course, FPS Lounge, they were up against them last week, where it was a little bit unfortunate. The game was close, and Snakes decided, you know what, I'm going to get caught behind a doorman door for 40 seconds, and there's nothing I can do, and it was a little bit rough. Even if Melee Creeps may have won that fight, it was tough. We're just like, FPS Lounge, come back next week. But FPS Lounge, they're coming in, and they're down 2 players of their normal squad, which, honestly, in Deadlock history, it could be bad, or it could be great. Like, it actually has helped sometimes, so you never know.
Yeah, you just go back to the basics, the raw fundamentals, DDK, and you forget the fact that this is a meta that requires ultimate team fighting and earn control. We're going to be diving into NA here in just a moment. Let's talk about our teams and, of course, the new MLC logo. Every time I look at it, it kind of reminds me of MLG. It takes me back to the fine days of 2004 when Saya was nearly born.
True. Let's not think about that, shall we? Let's move on. Because we all failed. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. In Melee Creeps, obviously, they won 3-0 against Loki W in the DSI. Obviously, now the meta is going to be different. The way that you play the game is going to be different. So we'll see if Melee Creeps can kind of continue in that form. And interestingly, in that big tournament, I believe Melee Creeps actually dodged playing FPS Lounge pretty much entirely. So it'll be interesting to see how FPS Lounge will fare up against them. I feel like, you know, pending no issues on Ido's end. I don't know why it's always Ido where the issues are, like whether it's like the door closing or the internet like cutting out or like whatever it might be. I don't know why the storylines are so centered around Ido. Do you guys know?
I think he's a very popular streamer, but ZP, is it true that Ido is still running on dial-up?
Who knows? I know Ido has taken multiple steps to enhance the durability of his internet at multiple levels, where not only has he gotten the full refurb from his ISP, he also has a cataclysmic backup plan where he will drive to his brother's house 15 minutes away in the event of a massive internet outage. So he has a backup plan here. So ideally, we don't have the tragic Ido disconnection that we had a few weeks prior.
And if we do, we have now extended the player time to 16 minutes of pause length to allow for that 15-minute commute. Saya, John, Fishcake, Ido, Dew, and Ranger make up the Melee Creeps on the other side of this challenger fight. It's your boxed roster number 2. You know him as the FPS Lounge, Snakes, Hydration, Luffel, and Lomain. Poppers, Lord NM, and Braden tonight. So Rokane is off the roster permanently. Lord NM could be showcasing some Lash. Who the hell is Braden, ZP?
Braden has been around some of the teams that have been out of the top 3. I mean, most notably, I think he was doing tour duty on No Earnings. He was with Chubby Bunnies most recently, and Chubby Bunnies took down FPS Lounge in the recent Deathy Invitational tournament. So, you know, Braden has been in comp for quite a while, and now FPS Lounge, you have the sub coming in. Where, by the way, I think here, if you're Lomain, part of you have to be a little bit worried. Like, Lomain is an incredible player and probably has a spot when he gets back, but there's always a spot part here where imagine if FPS Lounge wins versus Melee Creeps tonight, takes down Floormen, and then wins Night Shift Open with Lord NM and Braden as subs.
Oh, no.
They're not going to be subs anymore. They're going to be full-time rostered players. So this is always a scary thing where, on one hand, you want your team to win when you're not playing, but do you really want them to win? It's
no, you want them to win. You want to enjoy Cancun and just imagine that this is not going to impact your career at all. Will it? We'll find out. But first, you got to win if you're the FPS Lounge, and they've had a rocky few weeks. We take a look at the Challenger battle in DDK. Did you learn anything from the EU kids that you think NA will replicate?
You know what? Like, so many times I've watched the EU broadcast, and I mean, NA does not care. NA will do whatever it wants. Like, there's very limited lessons that might be coming from that. I do think that over time, more stuff has been adopted, but generally speaking, strategically, I don't think it's often the case that you see like copying or parity really. And according to EU, NA is always like a week or two behind, which I think kind of does generally kind of make sense. But right now, I think everything's up in the air. I mean, do you agree, ZP? Kind of feels like everything's in the air to me, at least.
It's in the air, and also it got synced up because you had both EU and NA playing in the same tournament this last weekend. Admittedly, EU was at a disadvantage. Like, ping is never easy to play on. Like, you had a lot of mini interactions. Like, you couldn't even play things like Sinclair if you were low-key W because the character just breaks on high ping. And, I mean, it's a performance lowering event regardless. But in terms of meta, you got to see like what EU was picking, what NA was picking, and they're intermixing. So it's after a tournament like that, and also the Night Shift Open this weekend, where the metas kind of converge a bit between the regions.
ZP, is it possible to redo the Mo 1v1 to have Lord NM face off against Ido? The chat is requesting a specific 1v1, or maybe we could arrange like a meetup on Blue Lane. How should this show up, and what's the history between these two?
Look, here's all you have to know, Puckett, is that Ido goes up to play a pub game, and then, something happens in the pub game, and Lord NM has a account army of like 50 different Smurf accounts that all commend Ido with various messages like, good job, Ido, after Ido dies in a game. Ido dies again. Nice feed, Ido. And effectively, Lord NM is just figure out new ways to mentally terrorize Ido on a regular basis. So there's a bit of a rivalry between these two players.
Do you think he owns all of these accounts, or like he's got a Discord army of like amigos ready to just attack and commend people?
He probably has all the accounts. Like Lord NM seems pretty dedicated to the grief, and so there's mental warfare between these two.
Some people still have BlackBerry cell phones. Lord NM might be one of them. DDK, we got our Mo 1v1 on the left. It is Lord NM on the right. It's going to be Yodi wearing the blue trunks.
What? Damn, that's the manager. There's no. Is this accurate?
I don't think he's allowed to play. Yodi's not allowed to play, but he did it.
Wait, this is generational aura loss for Lord NM if he loses this.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's about to lose it, though. Yodi is getting the fist. Wait, Lord NM is just...
I guess this is better than just forfeiting Yodi, but maybe not.
He's showing the back. Why is he giving him the back?
Oh boy.
That's disrespect from Lord NM. But I guess you guys have basically set it up. Lord NM seems like kind of a villain. But at the same time, I feel like Lord NM's trolling.
Wait,
he's making everybody else stronger, right?
Oh, no.
You gotta respect it.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the bags after. Like, that was a prime bag moment, and he let that one slip. If you're going for the villain and you're already just trying to aura farm the other Mo and Krill, just go all the way, man.
I don't know,
Lord NM is my new favorite player in this lobby. Chat, tell me why you love Brayden more. In the meantime, we're expecting to see a pocket band. Will it be a Billy, a doorman? What does NA think will be a threat tonight? ZP, you have some numbers from the DSI. Who were the big scary creatures in the most recent fight? I know they had the urn back on the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, pocket. Like, you just didn't get to play pocket at all if you were first pick. FPS Lounge have banned Paradox, and for melee creeps, I don't know entirely where they're going to go in terms of their picks, but with their ban, they better ban pocket. Like, letting pocket through in a BO1 would be a tragic mistake, and it's not one that they make.
I think one dangerous pick I've noted as well from melee creeps is Celeste. If Du gets to play Celeste, seems pretty amazing, honestly. It's like some of the carry that I saw DSI with that was really amazing. But honestly, I was going to make mention of the Billy for FPS Lounge because earlier in the show I was talking about how like Snakes was the player that was really showing that Billy was still very good, and Snakes is kind of a Billy specialist. And so the very fact that Billy is buffed in this way, I'm super excited to see what Snakes can do with it.
Well, Venator and his first pick is like pretty interesting for melee creeps. I mean, Ven has been looking good this entire patch, but to be that good, somewhere John's making the call saying, lock me in the Ven. I don't care what else you do, get me Venator. And it's backed up by Celeste, so, for melee creeps, they're securing their end game. But the key that you have to keep in mind here is that Celeste is good, but Du on Celeste is fantastic and maybe the best player in the game from what we saw at DSI. Like, Du Celeste is next level, and for melee creeps, especially if you are looking to win in a best of one, you want Du on no other character than Celeste.
Billy Silver seems to be a pretty strong starting lineup. DDK, what do you layer with it?
Let me see. I mean, there's a lot of options, honestly. I feel like okay. Well, oh no, ZP.
ZP's
you know what?
favorite.
Go ahead, ZP.
I mean, FPS Lounge wants a fast night, man. Like, they were just like, no, we don't want to have potentially 4 maps. Like, get us out of map 1. Yeah, I mean, all I know is like anyone that puts channel points against Mirage has gone rich today. I don't know if that's going to change.
Lashin on the other side was not prioritized previously. He's going 6th.
Yeah, I just think that the D Celeste is really the biggest problem. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to get shut down. I'm honestly surprised that Paradox got banned over the Celeste. Again, just a form check recently from doing that is just been ridiculous. So I mean, we'll get to see that at least.
There's a reason. I mean, Saya has been very dependent on playing both Paradox and Abrams. I was wondering, okay, maybe you come with an Abrams ban, but Saya is deadly on Paradox. I think giving Saya Paradox can be a mistake. Arguably, giving Do Celeste is an even bigger mistake. And I think if you're FPS Lounge, I don't know if they'll have the opportunity, because like Melee Creeps will usually pick Abrams at 4. In this case, they pick Victor, so there's still maybe a chance to take the Abrams away. You can. The problem is though, is like even though those are the heroes Saya has been playing, Saya isn't necessarily dependent on that. He has a deeper hero pool, but I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so Victor comes in. Victor's been seeing a lot of like really good games lately, but I am surprised that it was over Shiv. Shiv has been pretty insane as well. Still very good, even despite getting nerfed a little bit. Shiv has been one of those heroes that just gets nerfed again and again and again and again, and it just doesn't matter. It's kind of like Pocket, still extremely good.
Is there a Viper coming in, ZP? There's
Probably not.
enjoyers in the chat.
I don't think so. Not with Mirage on one end and Venator Celeste on the other. There's just no room in the team comp to play Viper unless you're just doing absolutely wacky things. Vindicta, though, definitely a thing that you're going to mix in. And again, it's just because people realize Vindicta is actually pretty good for some of the earn fights. The Shred is beneficial. And like as a later stage pick, it's really not bad the way the game is currently being played. Like Vindicta gets way more open shots than she previously has. But okay, the Graves comes in.
Here's sneaky Graves you talked about.
Viscous.
Can you counter it this late?
Yeah, you can grab a Sinclair. Like FPS Lounge, I kind of feel like you need to grab Sinclair or you're just going to get Tombstone Mogged the entire game.
I mean, Viscous, you can counter with the melee, but I don't know if that's going to be a build. But I like Talon here too. Yeah, because Talon is so nice because of like a lot of the aerial characters, Lash included, Celeste, Grace, Vindicta. I think they're all going to be susceptible to the power shots and the birds. I think Talon's just a very good option to try to like deal with those very mobile heroes. So I like the Talon. I'm a fan.
I hate the skulls, but the pros deal with them way better than my rank. ZP, why is Graves a threat, if at all, and is really the buff of giving her 2 zombies coming out of her 2 the big difference?
Yeah, I mean, her grasping hands are way better than they were before as far as like the zombie buff goes. The AI on her Jar of Dead is vastly improved, and the way Earn goes down right now, her ult is just a much better ability. Like Graves is probably been the most like underpicked hero this patch relative to her likely theoretical strength, and Mirage seemingly the most overpicked relative to his like magnificent loss record now, where he's 3-18, potentially about to go like 3-19. So yeah, I mean, look at this draft, and Mirage on one end, Melee Creeps able to get Celeste for Do on the other, and otherwise solid draft. I'm feeling Melee Creeps all the way.
No Mirage for ZP. He's been wrong 2 of the last 3 games, though. So chat, do what you will with your channel points. DDK, do you have a strong take on this matchup?
So it's interesting actually, because I actually do like FPS Lounge's draft. I kind of see the vision that they're going for. The Mirage is a question mark for me, but otherwise I love all the other picks. I do think that Do on Celeste is kind of an X factor though right now. I don't know.
That's a difference maker.
I don't know if he's deniable. That's the thing. I don't think you can shut him down. I mean, Talon I think is one of the better bets to do it, and I think having Shiv as well. You know, Silver with the belt. There are definitely options, but Du's just been able to be so consistent. So I'm excited though, because Graves is really nice. I mean, I would definitely lean melee creeps. They're coming off the DSI win and stuff. Like they got some momentum for whatever that's worth, you know.
ZP for FPS Lounge, if you're looking for a hard carry, who is the Mirage player that wants to get out ahead of the rest of the lobby?
Well, historically, it would have been Rocane. Like, Rocane was who they had getting farmed, especially on heroes like Venator or Mirage. I assume, it kind of depends on who they want playing what here.
Lord NM, right? It's going to be Lord NM, big boss, man.
It also could be Brayden between it, but I think it will be one of the two, unless it also could be Leffa. Like the upside here is that Leffa used to play hard position 1 in the past, so they could use the opportunity to be like, okay, Leffa, you're gonna get like super farmed. And I think Leffa has picked Mirage in the past when they ran comps like Mirage Ven, so it very well could be Leffa too.
Big thank you to Twill FGC for another 5 gifted to the channel. Guys, we are closing in on our sub goals. Big shout out to all of the new residents over on YouTube. And for the Patreons, I'm told I'm not allowed to tease something, but you guys should still just keep supporting the channel, because I can't talk about it yet because I missed the meeting yesterday, DDK.
Yeah, you got to stop missing those meetings, Pocket. I mean, there's going to be consequences, man. You don't even know.
See the announcement
who has prepared for you.
The announcement of an announcement, though, the old classic.
But it's NA. Supposed to move.
It's NA, so we're waiting for the players to get into lobby. Like we try to whip them. We try to do all sorts of.
We got a manager to dress up as a Mo and fight for you. That's the distance our production team has gone to entertain you, while these guys get their nervous bladders under control. They've been streaming all morning. They don't got time for this match to start on time. ZP, in the meantime, we should talk about how they're going to make $12,000 for being unprofessional.
Well, that's right. $12,000 up for grabs to our top 4. It's $6,000 to first place, $3,000 the second, and 1.5 apiece for third and fourth. It's all going down this weekend. The open qualifiers are on Friday. We may not be doing a co-stream. We might. It kind of depends. I'm going to be stuck making sure the teams do things properly on the back end. But on Saturday and Sunday, all the action will be going down right here on this channel. Similar format to what we did in Trolley, GSL style groups on day 1, which is, basically a form of double elimination, group split into 4, and then single elimination for the final 4 teams on Sunday. And the winners are going to be coming out with some pretty big prizes.
It's going to be a great show. Can't wait for you guys to all join us. Saturday and Sunday is the main event. Intel and Walmart, your main sponsors, and $12,000 going on top of the 10 grand that the community dished out with the DSI event this past weekend. The fam is eating good here in NA. Speaking of NA, I'm told our players are almost ready. So as we break down the lobby, you've highlighted kind of the key characters. Are there 2 key players to zoom in on in this lobby? I know the chat is really hyper-focused on Lord NM and Ido right now. DDK, do you have any favorites in this matchup?
I have to say Snakes. Snakes is Billy. I gotta say that. That's a given for me. I have to say Do on the other end, on the Celeste. I think that's the 2 obvious picks for me. I think there's some others I could maybe shout out, but that's where I'm going.
Zeeps?
Yeah, I mean, my number 1 answer is Do, and frankly, my number 2 answer may have been Do, but I'll save a little bit of the Do glaze and say I think from what we saw in EU earlier today, it's probably a good time to be a Venator. I mean, John looked really good on Ven over the course of the weekend, and it's been one of the highest impact heroes, so much so that Melee Creeps took it in their first round of picks around with Celeste. So they're banking on it having high factor. They're rating him very highly. And I mean, John in general has probably been the most consistent player from Melee Creeps. It's rare to see John have a bad game. You'll see everything fall apart around John, but rarely do you be like, oh man, John just threw that game away. It doesn't happen. He is the rock that Melee Creeps depend on.
John, I know you got a big brain. You're an engineer. You work all day, you play all night. I respect the grind, but my question is, can you show off the same movement we just saw from OCs? Because I played Venator. Mine does not move like your guys does. So is John a movement king, ZP, or is he just the macro man in charge? What makes him separated amongst the best?
I mean, John is more the I shoot good king, more than anything else. I mean, look, you have to have movement of a certain level in Deadlock to actually be capable. Like, he's not running around on, like, broken knees or anything, but you don't necessarily look at John and be like, damn, John's movement god. It's more so, hey, John, you made good decisions, you got farmed, and you're hitting a lot of your shots. And what's that? Your hero Domini just killed 2 people at the start of this fight. That's pretty good. That's more the John meme. Also, he just like keeps playing like the most basic heroes of like, I will walk forward and shoot. It's like, if it's not Warden, it's going to be Venator. You know, John kind of has a classic hero type here.
I just checked chat, and we've got absolutely 0 updates from Low 2 in production. Low 2 in production, who is in charge of getting the players in the lobby. Can we get an update on Ido's status? Is his internet out? Is it a restroom break? Is it Ido at all? I'm putting the blame on one of 12 players just based on previous history here, but it could be anyone, you know?
True.
Yeah. It's FPSL right now. Ido is off the hook at the moment. I'm looking at the player chat here. So Pure Content has updated and said 2 minutes for FPS Lounge. Quote, NA bathroom break. So it is bathroom yet again here in North America. And Saya is also bragging that Ido now has 2 routers, noob, in all caps, and OOB.
Hydration, never mind 1 pissing, 2 pissing, 3 pissing. With that said, hydration, we are going to take a quick bathroom break for production. When you're ready, we will remove $50 from your prize pool and begin the match.
Wait, they just said we're ready.
All right,
maybe we don't go to break.
All right, let's not go to break. I believe ZP. Do you believe ZP?
I believe mostly. I think we're about to go in. Lord NM is dropping gifts of the deep from the boys for whatever reason. In NA speak, this probably means we're about to go in game. I think. Nice. I hope.
I don't believe you. Can we slowly zoom in on Commissioner ZP's face until this game kicks off, Solomon? I've done all the filling I can do. We've won awards for our fill jobs in the past, DDK. But I don't think we're getting one tonight. Why? This guy is so handsome. Is he Abrams? Is he Marvel Abrams? He could be. Let your favorite talent agent know he's available. Melee Creeps versus FPS Lounge on the mic. It's Daniel, Capadia, and Z-Penis. I mean, Z-Petrius. I mean, Tempo ZP. ZP, what's your real name?
Andrew or Andy. Either the one works, but
what's the ZP stand for?
At this point, nothing. It is just ZP. That's it. The Z never stood for anything in the first place. I'll tell you that. But Dan, we're in. Like, it was a long period of fill. The bathrooms have been done. As Lotu said, production. They had to dig some latrines before they could go, but we're finally in it. Melee Creeps versus FPS Lounge.
I was hoping Bucket would start like whispering in the VO when it zoomed in on your face, but maybe next time. I think as we're on Rem, this is a good Rem game. I think ZP. You know, if you look at all of the buffs to tag along, I mean, it got buffed significantly. You're going to be able to jump between Shiv, Billy, and Silver like pretty happily in a lot of these fights. So, and I think that's obviously going to be pretty big value. So, I'm looking forward to seeing, if that's going to actually play out well, because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've seen Rem really do much, at least during the EU games.
No, Rem, I think, is actually quite strong this patch. Like, all memes aside, where I think it's important to clarify, the hate on Rem is contrived. I do not actually hate the character. I just think it's funny when you get smashed. But, look, I think the buffs to Rem are pretty significant. I think you could make the argument he's been a little bit underpicked overall. And when you're picking a lineup that has, like, obvious tanky targets like a Shiv and a Billy, I mean, it definitely makes for both good lanes and good comebacks in the middle of a fight. But for FPS Lounge, I think this game is going to be a bit of an uphill battle on their comp, especially when it comes down to how some of their infights may shake out.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I do think, again, I actually do think they've got a pretty nice draft here. I like it. Again, I think a lot of we're going to need to see a lot out of Lord and M and Snakes, I think, in particular, in these objective fights. Leffa on Silver is interesting. I'm going to be curious to see how that performance goes for Leffa. I don't know, CP. I actually am believing. I'm cautiously believing in FPS Lounge here, because obviously they have stand-ins as well. But just like you said, just as much as it could go wrong in Deadlock history with stand-ins, it could also go extremely well. So, maybe it's gonna be one of those games. We're gonna find out. And this is best of one. It's a challenger match, so you can't really afford to make any mistakes here.
Yeah, I mean, subs have a proud history of things going well. However, they also have Mirage, and look, I'll be as happy as anyone when Mirage finally rips off another win, but it's been a bad losing streak for Mirage as of late.
Yeah.
And also, we were kind of speculating who's going to play one draft. Is going to be Braden, basically filling in 1-for-1 for O'Kane.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I would certainly prefer the Wraith over the Mirage here, probably.
I agree. I think Wraith would make this draft feel a lot better for FPS Lounge, especially that they got GT at a bit of a bargain sale at the end of the draft for what he's been able to do in recent games.
Yeah. I think also, where we had Melee Creeps rounding out the draft with the Graves and Vindictor especially, kind of adding in some more of these really squishy heroes. It's kind of what GT is kind of specialized to deal with, some of these more squishy heroes. And again, as I mentioned, I think Lash's mobility, especially how people have been building him, it's pretty disgusting. But with that said too, ZP, haven't we seen like more of a shift away from Gun Lash in this recent updates, and we're kind of back to more of a Spirit Lash?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, people are still building QSR and like doing a lot of the same early build. I think if there is variation, the build, it comes a little bit later. But like the build for Lash in the early mid game, I don't think has changed too much for how people are going about it. Now, there is this idea that a harder Spirit Lash, if you pull it out of nowhere, can actually catch people off guard because it's been so much Gun Lash. But yeah, I mean, you look at the build for Ido right now, headshot booster in the QSR. So this is still a more gun heavy build, at least for now.
Yeah, we'll see the recharging rush, and I guess I feel like recharging rush is just so high value anyway that you probably would see it no matter like what kind of Lash you're doing. But either way, again, for me, I'm just this is Snake's time. It really is with the buff Billy.
Billy quite good on this patch as okay, Sai just able to walk forward in the left and may not be done eating yet. Super low HP on poppers, and chase down may just be there. It's Graves. Never a great feeling at this moment, but also nope, does not break containment. I think it was just a hit of Jar Dead that ended up getting it. I think a skull just like snuck its way over there, Dan.
That's so weird. I gotta say, I died in exactly the same way in my last game, where I had like a skull on me and I just didn't realize, and it just actually killed me. And I was like, what?
I mean, if you could zoom in, the skulls actually have brains now. Their AI is vastly improved this patch. They're doing things they never did before, which is why even with like a small DPS nerf, their real world DPS is vastly higher at the moment.
Yeah, they put what are they called, like Raspberry Pis? Stuck some Raspberry Pis in there. Are those even a thing anymore?
I don't know. I think you've hit me with like British things, and I just have no frame of reference for.
Oh no, it's a technology thing. It's like a thing that you can.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Neuralink for your anus.
Okay, now I understand. Yes. I know the Raspberry Pi for that, but you said I was just thinking food is like what snack item? Like what is going on here? But those are pretty useful. People done cool like mini Roblox things, but Jengang off here in the side lane, one way the ground, due for a moment. But all it is a moment. The Shining Wonder already out and about. And it's a quick engage with no one falling here just yet. Ido, though, able to walk away at good HP. Do maybe going for a quick bath in the spawn.
Yeah, no, it's got the Mystic Burst next. So like, it's still like really standard Lash stuff, for sure. I've seen some people going like trying to like get the stomp up more quickly because it can catch people off guard because you just always go flog first. But I also feel with how the lanes are sped up, or in theory are sped up with the changes to the Guardians and so on. I don't think that matters as much to get as much pressure, like invest as much into pressure versus just a good overall selection of skills or build order for the skills.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of Guardian stuff, the one thing that has, well, you feels bad is if like for first urn turn in, if you still have your left lane Guardian, like trying to turn in against that feels pretty awful. So like for FPS Lounge, there's actually a reasonable edge for first urn if they're able to maintain it. but it's still small. It's not as big as it was when the Urn was in middle over the weekend and you had Middle Guardian versus no Middle Guardian, which was actually near impossible to fight the way those broke out. Like, you can tell who would win mid-Urn just on status of mid-Guardian half the time at 10 minutes.
Another quick build check. Is Poppers going gun, actually? But hang on, I suppose we've got a bit of a fight. Breaking down his snakes. The snakes rem combo, the Billy rem, is looking like kind of nasty, actually.
Not as much lockdown as you need. Elsewhere on the map, Left is able to take down Fishcake. So the early skirmishing for FPS Lounge, not too bad. The question is, are they going to be able to bring that into team fights soon? It's 8 minutes. Sinners are up. We'll see if we get a bit of an invade here on the left. Instead, it's looking like Saya trying to defend and gets the parry on top. Goes down, though. Shocking reanimation, not yet off cooldown. So all the while, there might be a bit of a Sinner steal coming in for Poppers. It's there. It's available. I don't know if
Going
guns get there in time. Yeah.
Although Mystic Shot, it got a buff actually. I believe the scaling on the spirit damage got better, like quite significantly better, maybe.
Mystic Shot is a lot better now.
Increase or something.
Yeah, it's also like one of the items that people have been building more on Lash too. Like things like Headhunter, Mystic Shot, Lash. John having to run for the hills here in the middle. I mean, the one thing about Mirage that no one can take away from him is that even if his win rate has been bad recently and his team fighting is less than great, early laning still pretty good. No fear of Dude at half HP. Okay, Dude just like made an appearance in middle, up the through the top, 8 shots of Mirage and died. Like, I don't know what Dude's plan there was actually.
That is another thing that Mirage is good at. The Scarabs actually do surprisingly a lot of work here early on. Nice catch from Poppers. And I mean, this is like a pretty good start for FPS Lounge. They're tempoing out quite nicely here. We're going towards that 10-minute mark. Guardian's now starting to get taken down. And okay, this Mirage is he's really, there's some aura there, ZP. I think he's heard the call from you. He's heard the doubts and looking to have a generational performance.
He's trying to channel the Spirit Bomb Goku style from all 73 people that currently reside in Wyoming. We're getting right now, Dan. But the Lord, NM. All right, chill, Lord, chill. Is able to get another kill, and yeah, I mean, Melee Creeps, for winning the tournament this weekend, they're losing on lanes at every stage of the game right before Urn, and surely this is like, it's not deep enough to have comeback Urn yet, just to be clear, but closer than perhaps one would have expected from the beginning.
And I mean, right now, I mean, this is looking like it could be a very strong turn-in for FPS Lounge. Again, I feel like they've got a great comfort of all the front line. And the chase down coming in here as well from Brayden is looking actually really annoying. Shocking reanimation. Would have been nice to get rid of that cooldown, but not going to be happening this time around. But in the same token, as you said, Urn control is well and truly with FPS Lounge. And the question is, can they actually make the turn and happen? Because, you were talking about Graves' power with the ult, especially on the Urn.
Well, the interesting thing is that despite that being, 2 or 3 minutes, that was mostly in favor of Melee, or rather, of FPS Lounge, it hasn't amounted to a serious advantage in the game here, really. I mean, it's still 2K aggregate between the teams. I think the scariest thing is that you have this gun GT at 11K that's kind of frying at the moment. But, short of that... Wait, Lord? But okay, I'm just looking at the mini map. Did Lord dive into 4 people and just die? Like that, I'm so confused as to how that went down. Exactly. But like now, FPS Lounge has the hostage of the Urn back at Walker. If we get a replay on that, I would love to see how that happened because what in the world?
It's definitely slowed down the game a little bit, but it looks like it will be the Urn getting placed in its deposit position and. Melee Creeps going to try to dive onto this. They do have a lot of ults here, Death Slam included. And just basically the burger box begins, and there's the chain gang. You got the grasping hands as well. Another reason why Graves is quite nice for this objective. And he gets switched back over to FPS
Ranger's
Lounge.
Destroying! Ranger is getting so much damage on the back. Assassinate after assassinate, like Ranger pounding from afar. And Leffa trying to equalize a little bit on the silver, takes down the Graves. The Urn back in favor of FPS Lounge. Melee Creeps may have to back out now, but Ranger got some damage done in the middle of the fight. Urn, though, turned in by FPS Lounge, and, for Melee Creeps, a bit of a disappointment.
Dude, the new urn fights are just so insane. It just really does commit you into so much more than the previous urn fights, with how invested everybody gets into it and the position of it and everything. And I gotta say, one thing I noticed on Snakes, early, he got a cold front pretty early on CP, and I do wonder with the change to Arctic Blast how that got buffed. I wonder if he's gonna get an early Arctic Blast on Billy. That could be maybe a new thing that we could see.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny you mentioned Arctic Blast too. That's an item that got dramatically better as we go for a pause. Internet spiking. Wait, cold front not working.
Oh wow! Like that's a caster cuss, perhaps. I don't know.
Okay, they're saying ready, so it's a quick one. No one has DC'd. We don't have Ido driving to his brother's house. By our standards, that's a quick pause. That's a EU standard pause, if anything.
Yeah, Nido does have the Headhunter as well, which is usually part of those gun builds. Mystic Expansion making an appearance. This is all looking pretty normal, I guess, for what we were to expect. I think Recharging Rush should be coming in soon as well, if it's to stay, kind of somewhat regular. Item's still very good. Get the extra grapple, so you can just stay but just in the air just forever, and you also get the extra stamina as well when it's level 3, I believe. Oh my god, getting caught by Billy here is not good. There's the chain gang as well. DP, this is not what Ido wanted.
Ido perhaps caught napping here for a second. Doesn't have much in the locket either. Here is Ido just get hit from all ends. Swarm for a quick pick from FPS Lounge. The rest of this now going directly on the walker. It's gonna be Saya against the world here on the right. Backup seems to be pretty far away here too, Dan, looking at the map. There's no shocking reanimation either. It just gets run down by Snakes.
Yeah, this is a crazy powerful position for FPS Lounge, chasing down... Oh, another pause. Chasing Fishcake down. Okay, I've got a mouse out.
Oh, okay, can we get a PSA for players? Charge your peripherals. Like, mouse died. Yeah. Headset died.
I do always wonder about that because that happens so rarely for me, and I'm not playing in a tournament. Like if I was playing in a tournament, when I have played in tournaments, I just everything is I don't know, ZP. What can we really make of this?
I mean, oh wait. Can we zoom in on Fishcake here? That is not where you want to be. That's just straight up not where you want to be at the end of a pause.
Ooh. Drop the 500 bag too, so this just does not look remotely good for melee Creeps. Like it looks so bad right now.
Yeah, and the Mirage Nation, they need this. Yeah. They need this game, and where we're at, this is the best hope of a Mirage win we have had all day. 12K lead now for FPS Lounge, and in no small part, the GT build is interesting, by the way, where it starts out like more gun focus and then like shifts more to a spirit focus later on. Like you look at the itemization, the poppers is gone, start gun shifted more heavy spirit, you pick up tank busters, so it's just trying to maximize power spikes on the hero, it seems.
Yeah, it's really nice too. I mean, I wonder if Indomitable will make an appearance with a reactive barrier picked up. That's going to be nice insurance against potential death slams and then these potential things that are problematic for GT. But yeah, I do like it. Tank Bust is too good value to not get it as well. And
Saya finding his ult on cooldown immediately. Puts Rem to a quick little sleep while this is happening. Urn picked up by Ranger. Ido on the death slam, gets sent on the Dust Devil ride. Eating arrows from above, courtesy of GT, but while this goes on, Saya is able to run down onto Leffa, and the damage not too significant for melee Creeps, so they get one pick, they get control of the Urn, and if they're able to get Urn here, Dan, we're right back to even.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a very important moment. We'll see what FPS Lounge can do, though. Still a lot of presence in mid, so they are at the moment outnumbered, outpositioned for the Urn offense. And chasing down the Sire, and he does not have recharging, or rather the reanimation, shocking reanimation.
He's buying time, though,
picking
Dan.
would be nice, but in going for this pick, they won't have numbers on the Urn.
Wait, they're using the Urn to push with resistances. I'm pretty sure if this was comeback Urn, then yeah, they're just like, we're gonna bring the Urn over. I don't know if it's comeback Earn. I may have just, they wanted to keep it secure while they did Earn or Walker and brought it back. Based on the timing here. I actually don't think it was comeback Earn.
No, I don't think so.
Well, actually, no. That was 5 seconds. I think it actually was. I think they used it to push Walker with resistances and then brought it back. I may be wrong. I did not, like, take stats and the UI doesn't actively update you, but yeah.
Either way, it was a trade in terms of the walkers. So relatively even. I mean, melee creeps, again, we can't forget how horrendous the start was. And I have seen games where they come back because of just Do really playing really amazingly. And he has been able to keep himself like very healthy on the souls, 18k, which is on par with the other like healthy heroes for FPS Lounge 2. So it does feel like the game state has reset somewhat after that Earn and Walker.
The thing you have to be worried about as the game goes on is, what Do is going to be able to do in Celeste as Celeste gets farmed. Do was a maniac this weekend. It was like Do is probably the hardest to deal with player in the entirety of DSI. And I mean, we know Do is good, but like Celeste has felt like the ultimate comfort hero for Do. So, the later you get into the game, I think the uglier this may get for FPS Lounge. Is Ido is just getting ripped to shreds here, man. This is unreal. Here comes Snakes. Movement being brought to a crawl. Courtesy of Chain Gang throwing a bird. I mean, you talk about Ido hate watching. That just, they entered the game here, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, there's been numerous times when he's been completely mugged. The previous time where he got knocked off the zip, kind of felt like he just didn't have that info or wasn't aware. That was unlucky timing. But that was just, this is just showing the strength of FPS Lounge, moving as a pack here. Really, really strong burst damage also. Popper's doing a lot with the gun damage on the Talon. I'm super curious how his build will develop, as you noted previously. He kind of switched from gun into more spirit, so somewhat of a balanced build from the last look. And in the meantime, in terms of the macro, it does feel like FPS Lounge are trying to pressure pretty heavily. We still got Snakes, in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, I mean, FPS Lounge is still nursing a bit of a lead for now. Luffa just grabbing his side doubles. But I can't help but feel like FPS Lounge is on a bit of a timer. Now, 1 minute away from next Earn, and I mean, next Earn could be pivotal, Dan. I feel like, the way this game is playing out, it's going to be a big fight, and it's going to be something where the winner likely gets to go mid-boss thereafter. So, next Earn, depending how the teams play it, could be it.
All right, well, in middle right now, the priority is being fought for by both teams. It looks like FPS Lounge are going to maintain more position in mids, but now looking to try to get that high ground towards the buffs, especially the Earn-sided buff on this right part of the map. And Do is potentially going to get in some trouble, but he is playing Celeste, so the movement is always going to give you a lot of options.
I see Billy.
15 seconds before Earn. Also, I think about the way this game's gone down. This has been a tough game for Ido on Lash. I feel like Ido has been the recipient of solo Chain Gang more than anyone else in the game by like a factor of, well, much. And maybe another one coming up here. Wouldn't be solo though this time around. Everything taking place right near the buff. Buff gets spawned. And Saya walks away with his first life. Shocking reanimation, not procced here just yet, but Earn control is going to go the way of FPS Lounge.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have just a better comp to get the priority, at least, in how it's playing out. And it's funny also on the Ido note that you mentioned him just getting singled out with Chain Gang, etc. His most recent item that he bought was Counterspell, so, he's got some more tools to deal with that now.
Ido getting shot from afar. Brayden, relatively safe spot. Both teams a little bit of a slower engage here so far, but okay, the signal has been set. Melee creeps going in. Saya gonna pop the shocking reanimation early into the fight. It's kind of low to begin with. Second life now active, and FPS Lounge kind of back away, but as they back, Earn control taken in by melee creeps, and we'll see how they play the next part.
Protect the Earn Runner.
Again, positioning looking really nice for FPS Lounge into the Earn turn in. Melee Creeps looking to pick the right time, though. There's the zombies, the Greystone. They get unleashed, and speaking of being unleashed, Chain Gang coming out here into the fight. The Snakes gets hit in the side by the Iridomini. That does a lot of damage.
It was the chain minus the gang. Like, the gang did not show up in this instance, but back other. Braden getting run down. Mirage going to be first to fall. Nap time being done on John at the same time, so it may be M1 for M1. Can anyone save John right now? He is absolutely hurting, and yet still alive. Saya making space in the urn. The urn has been turned in. Melee Creeps currently in control. Do dancing around at good HP. Saya finally falls. Urn flipped back over the FPS Lounge. Perry's coming in. Gonna get the punch here in from the graves. Turned back here by the Shiv. Melee Creeps more on the urn, more in control as FPS Lounge. Only poppers and hydration remain.
Yeah, very nice secure, and they get a lot of kills there as well of just good initiation in the fight. I think, you know, if the fight's just a straight up brawl, as it kind of has been previous to this one, it's not gone well for them, and they're going to be able to, if Melee Creeps, pick up this mid boss also off at the back of that fight. And there's not really many tools here. There's no players, there's no nap time available from hydration. That's down, and so this is going to be a desperate challenge if they try to go for a steal of a crystal, and it's not going to be even really truly attempted. FPS Lounge forced to give that one up, and up until this moment, CP, up until that urn, FPS Lounge have essentially been, I think, dictating the game to different degrees, but finally the flip happens.
Yeah, and off the flip, things are pretty bad now for FPS Lounge. I mean, already they're up against a team that likely skills better than them. Melee Creeps have kind of cracked the code for diving in onto the Mirage, and so, you know, Do, who didn't have the greatest opening on Celeste, now plenty of farm to work with, on top of the advantages having 3 rejuves for the next 3 minutes. So FPS Lounge has to hope that this is a lower efficiency rejuve for Melee Creeps.
Man, Rem's perspective just reminds me of people who play like Odd Job in GoldenEye. You know, just like there's really a scummy thing if you guys know about that game.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that may have played Odd Job, yeah, he had half the hitbox. Like, why wouldn't I pick him? He's just available. Like,
yeah, and you have to like, if you're against him, like you have to like adjust your aim in a way you don't have to for any other player. You have to like pull the stick down. I don't know. It's just
yeah, it was great. You know, you go to someone's place, you know. You ask their mom to order pizza, and you play Odd Job, and then you never get invited back again, and it's just like it wasn't fun to play against you. Like, that was a GoldenEye 64 experience. For those who remember, as I've now just dated myself horrifically.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I feel like maybe I got to like cap the age of some of the references at this point. I don't know. So I feel like it's probably not helping us, which was just alienating the audience.
I don't know. There's a handful of people who's like, no, I got that. And I probably lost fans by saying I played Odd Job, but you know, that's where we're at. Either way, 30 seconds till next urn. It's been a relatively quiet Rejuvenator here so far, which is probably why we got dragged down the rabbit hole of GoldenEye 64. But I believe the action is going to be kicking back up again here in a moment, Dan. There's still time for Melee Creeps to do another urn and go from that urn into one of the FPS Lounge walkers. So we'll see how things are played in the next minute 40. Yeah,
and Do is becoming extremely dangerous as well. He's been dangerous, but there's that level. There's a threshold of unstoppableness which we may soon find ourselves in as the urn gets claimed by Melee Creeps. But this might help actually FPS Lounge to some extent. The only issue is that there's these rejuves that are online. So FPS Lounge have to be really cautious as to how they deal with this. Do they try to like pick off somebody on the extremity, get rid of a crystal, or do they try to challenge directly? Well, they're going to find Ido. He's been a pretty reliable target.
Yeah, Ido has been, again, #1 recipient of Chain Gang this entire time. FPS Lounge, though, forced back a bit. Urn going to be turned in, and it's being contested. I think maybe a 1-on-1 on Urn. Meanwhile, Ido, Death Slam on the one. It's on the GT. Low HP in the process. Not done just yet. First rejuve going to be targeted as Ido goes down. FPS Lounge, by the way, it's a 1-on-1, or was, for the Urn. It's Saya versus Shiv. Like, what in the burger is going on over here, Dan?
I actually like Shiv's chances so much on this one, but at the same time, Ido's come in to play spoiler.
Ido's come in to get parried. but it's now 2-on-1. And surely Lord M finally going to fall in what was a ridiculous side battle going on as Mid-Walker has been pushed, but is still being defended by FPS Lounge.
Sometimes the music gives me kind of Zelda vibes. I don't know why. I didn't even really play Zelda very much.
Sometimes the Earn music blocks out all other game sound. You don't realize you're getting hit by a 7 orb. That's my story with the Earn music. It's loud. Shrine though, going on down. Melee Creeps making the most of the end of the Rejuvenator. They do get the Earn over on the end. Graves likely about to be going down, but you know, as Graves goes down, you got a Shrine, you got Walker. Melee Creeps is adding on to their advantage now, Dan. Just about, or just over 30,000. Exactly 30,000, where after Soul Diff, can we get the golden statue count?
And then let's get the damage whilst we're at it afterwards. Let's get a buffet of statistics.
It's funny, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, yeah, we're just at a restaurant. It's like, yes, I'll have the golden statue, and my friend Daniel, he'll be having the damage done, please.
Okay. Melee Creeps kind of dominating on the statues. Is that what you expected?
Yeah, it's also been very balanced overall. Also, Mirage of all people just not getting any. Also, the damage being put out by poppers is unreal relative to the rest of FPS Lounge.
GT man, GT's a hell of a character. Oh, Ido Hate Club is back.
The Ido Hate Club.
That's not what you called it earlier?
Pretty hate watchers. But I don't know, dozens of them in Twitch chat. Melee Creeps though, trying to take advantage. FPS Lounge technically have a 6-on-5 opportunity. Fishcake isn't back yet. The stat difference though, pretty significant. Poppers, Yu's been pumping out the damage, just superior stamining all the way up the top. Down in close quarters, John pulls out the Erdamini, and it's enough to take down Lord NM as the fight gets a little bit messy now for FPS Lounge, especially with Fishcake about to rejoin.
Actually, I love the positioning from FPS Lounge in this particular fight. It actually was quite nice. Unable to really close the distance, though, to confirm any of these kills. But yeah, great work from Melee Creeps in that previous, I suppose, just string of plays that where they flipped the game at that point that we mentioned, into the mid boss. I mean, they cleaned up so much from the map and a shrine as well. So pretty significant advantage, but it doesn't feel like FPS Lounge are necessarily out of it just yet. They just need a really key pick or key engagement now around some of the objectives. And I mean, that's going to be tough to find, but they're not too far behind just yet, I wouldn't say, ZP.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I think the problem that they run into is scaling. Also, if you go for a more meta reason, look, they're running with 2 substitutions here, and the longer you go into the game, the more the deficiencies from running subs tend to go, and this is a mid boss that's just instantly dead.
Oh my god,
the HP bar has just been, it got demolished. Here today, gone tomorrow. See if FPS Lounge can even get in, and 2 rejuves taken, 1 more crystal to go. Saya finishes off. All poppers can do is pad the stats a little bit with an owl, as no one is actually getting there in time physically.
That is actually kind of crazy. I don't know that I've ever seen it get down that fast. That's poor Ido, man. You can't connect these ground strikes.
I think the only time mid boss has gone down that quickly on Night Shift has been one of the rare Viper games. Viper shreds mid boss. But here we go. It's a comeback earn pickup that's currently being contested. Lord NM goes in, grabs the urn, immediately drops as Saya has reincarnation popped. 1 rejuve remaining here for Melee Creeps, just utilizing them in the middle of battle. FPS Lounge, I mean, doing a decent job to get rid of them, but surely there's no way Lord NM is able to escape, putting that much pressure on trying to get urn control. And it's kind of for naught, because while this was going on, Dan, Ranger just sneaks away with the urn.
Yeah. Doing great work there from Melee Creeps. Just not really giving any room for FPS Lounge to breathe.
Now, the upside, it's comeback earn.
Yeah,
you want to fight here, you get the 35% resistances. But actually, that's why Ranger's bringing away. Ranger's like, no, you guys don't get the 35% resistances. John, maximum damage go. As Leffa just explodes Saya, the reincarnation. All were witness there, Dan.
Oh, no. Oh man, like a thermonuclear bomb just detonated on FPS Lounge there, and oh, goodbye to the shrine. That's gonna go away very soon, and I don't know. Yeah, definitely unrecoverable at this point. That instant mid boss take, that was kind of that was kind of the moment for me where I was like, okay, maybe there's no chance here for FPS Lounge to get back into this, because they don't even get any like counterplay opportunity there.
No, defending the shrines, down 4, easier said than done. In fact, many would say it's impossible at this game state. Massive stat difference. Leffa not enjoying his experience, or maybe is, depending on, you have to get an interpreter for Mickey, what was it, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is what he said, no.
Well, I guess I was gonna say, like, in the Mirage, I suppose, you know, it does lose again, but it actually looked kind of good, you know, up to a certain point in this game.
It looked good until you realize the Mirage is now 3-19 in the last 3 days. It's Melee Creeps. They won this weekend, and they're looking to take it again. They win the Challenger match, but do they have what it takes to take down floor men? They've taken the first step.
Brayden, it's not your fault. It's the man bun. Saya, John, Fishcake, Ido, Do, and Ranger getting the job done for Melee Creeps this week. And DDK, if you're looking for some MVPs, you highlighted Do Celeste. She lived up to the hype. Who else did you enjoy watching in this game?
Who did I enjoy watching? Who did I watch? I enjoyed watching Ido. Getting mugged constantly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was that because of Ido's player? Ido just like continually getting hit like with 3 people in chains like half the game.
The stun lock was fun to watch, of course. Yeah. ZP, same question for you. Were there any standouts? Because I know production's gonna want to have some MVPs.
You know, standouts for me, honestly, I think back to that Urn fight where Ranger just got to sit back and make Vindicta look good. Even though that was a fight they lost, it was like, damn, Ranger hitting shots. Ranger, you know, more known for support play, still able to click some heads when necessary. But, you know, for Melee Creeps, it just felt like they just needed one good fight and things went their way. I think towards the end of the game, Sai was actually pretty fun to watch too, as Sai got his footing on Victor.
Ido with the lash, taking out Lord NM's Shiv. You see the Shiv down at the start of these Urn battles. That's where it seemed to spiral out of control. ZP, for anyone who is trying to understand the 35% resistance, can you explain that for Urn fights going forward?
Yeah, so when it's a comeback Urn, so when it spawns in your territory, you get 35% resistance in a 60-meter, which is a really large radius, of the Urn while it's carried on the ground or being deposited. But the one thing to keep in mind is that once it's fully deposited, the aura instantly goes away. So we've seen plays where you let the other team turn in the Urn and then you just jump on them. Or in this last game, we did get confirmation, like pretty sure it was comeback Urn. Melee Creeps took the comeback Urn and used it to take down a Walker because it was basically a gigantic amount of extra souls to their team during the play, which probably isn't the intent for here. I almost feel like you have to have Walkers have an aura that cancels out the Urn aura, which gets all sorts of complicated, but I can't imagine the goal was... Yeah, I can't imagine the goal of the system is like take the Urn to push Walkers, but you know, Melee Creeps did that at one point.
Could I do that tonight in my games afterwards? Just carry it around from Walker to Walker?
Yes, but you'd be in pub games and people are
yeah, that's not going to work out.
People are terrible about playing around the Urn in pubs. Like, you would call the play, get it to the Walker, and there would be 4 people in middle for no reason, Bucket. Like, just know your audience. That's all.
Are we worried about FPS Lounge? I know Rocane is gone and Lo Mein will be back from Mexico, but there is a big money match coming up this weekend.
I mean, I think FPS Lounge is definitely a team that's very capable. It's never good to, you know, or fun when you're having some of these roster change situations, but at the same time, like the meta is, I think, more in flux at the moment. So I feel like it's not quite as damaging because things are not as straightforward, and people, you know, there's the capacity to be more flexible around players coming in. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of different ways you could go with it, but yeah, they're definitely going to be at a disadvantage for sure.
26 kills to 26 kills, but ZP, there is a 45k difference in score. What was that difference tonight? Is that all Urns? Is that playing for mid boss? How do I get my score to be the one on the right?
I mean, look, I think Melee Creeps, their team play is second to none. I think they picked a comp that actually just scaled really well into some of the later fights, and they made a good play with comeback earn. I mean, FPS Lounge, to their credit, really good early laning phase, picked up a lot of good kills. I think Poppers was just remarkable on the GT. They got this GT as the final pick in the draft, and it had first pick performance. So something to take notice of going later tonight, just the impact of GT both in EU and in NA. But, you know, for Melee Creeps, I think they understood their objective as far as team fights went, and while they got off to a rocky start, they were able to pull a rabbit out of their hat to get things going, and once they had an advantage, FPS Lounge didn't really have great ways back into the game. Also, finally, don't pick Mirage. He's 3-19 in the last few days.
It's real bad.
Yep.
Stop picking Mirage. He's like Lady Geist from 5 weeks ago. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, we have to crown your MVP from the first match. DDK, did you select an official champion tonight for the opening battle?
I didn't. I could guess. I could guess it.
DP, did you submit?
I did not submit either. I just saw the production was asking, but you know, screw it. Give it to Ranger. I enjoyed that one Vindicta battle, or Saya. Take your pick. Dealer's choice on production.
Yeah. Yeah, knock, throw it up, whatever you like. We like tonight. Why? Because we still have 3 more games, because that's how tonight's episode is going to go. We're going to get an 8-game show here on the night shift with the new meta. ZP, Mirage has the worst win rate. True or false? Graves has the best win rate.
I don't know if Graves is at the best. Pocket is probably at the best or tied for best because he's 4-0 at 100%.
Okay,
but yeah, Mirage, in terms of the amount that he's been played to losses, like, has to be the overall worst for the amount of times he's been tried into just losing everything. But we're gonna give it to Saya.
Saya's flex over to the Victor. 11 assists. He was in every team fight possible. The refresher was out. He didn't get up to 6 lives, DDK. I was told that there's a way to do that. He got close to it though.
Well, yeah, I mean, Victor's still a really nice pick. You know, there's a lot of really good shutdowns around the objective and earn fights. You know, Victor's aura, man, it's pretty potent. And we saw a lot of multi-kills here. Very difficult to take down. I was actually, in general, like, impressed with just how few deaths Saya actually got, considering how many times, like, he was very, very close to dying off of a situation where he didn't have the ult left to use. So just like very nice frontlining and the disruption, creating space here. Like, so insane with the creator expansion how far the aura actually goes.
And for Saya, you know, sometimes I wonder, what is Saya's role nowadays, where, you know, Saya went from support, then he went into more pick, where he'll always pick Paradox if it's available, then into Abrams for more pick, and now it's like, I just like being frontline. I like people dying from me just being remotely in the vicinity. Saya on the Victor arc right now, so, you know, Saya's like half pick, half frontline, but 100% success, or so it seems in recent memory.
As we go to break, question for the chat: true or false? You hate Rem as much as ZP. We'll be right back with your NA final.